Welcome to 1000 PS, welcome to the delightful playground that is the Austrian Alps. Welcome to just a fun, playful, interesting test. And that is the 2024 R1300 GS against the 2024 F900 GS. Obviously from the same manufacturer, both 24 models. But let's see what they're like here in this perfect playground. So yes, it's a bit of an unusual test to put the 1300 GS against the 900 GS, but we thought it might throw up some interesting questions and some interesting observations. What's first of all obvious is they both got very similar or near identical clocks. Very premium, some of the best clocks you'll find on any motorcycle on the market. Switchgear again is very similar as you would expect. SOS button in the same place, mode button in the same place, and the same navigational wheel. It's all feeling very familiar between the two bikes. And if you've got a pen and an accessories box and you start ticking loads of accessories, the base price soon rockets up as you personalize the bike to your individual tastes and needs. So for example, on the F900 GS, we've gone for more of an enduro model with the different forks and the off-road specific rubber, and we've gone for the some love it, some hate it, fluorescent yellow paint scheme. And again, it's same with the big GS. Tick some accessories box. You can be more off-road, more on-road, more touring with luggage, depending on what you want. In terms of price, the base F900 GS starts at £11,995. The base 1300 is £16,000 there or thereabouts. So there is a sizable price difference between the two. In terms of power, they both got more power than their previous models. We're at 143 horsepower for the GS and 105 for the F900. In terms of torque, 66 foot-pounds of torque, and we've got 110 foot-pounds of torque. That is mighty torque from the big 1300, as you'd expect, considerably more than the parallel twin in the F900. But riding the bikes back to back, although the clocks and switchgear and they come from the same factory built by the same brand, the similarities end there. There's such a significant difference in torque, power, handling. Definite in the weight as well, in the lightness. The GS has lost a lot of weight for 12 kilograms for 2024, and it's 237 kilograms. And the F900 GS is 219 kilograms, so it's not massively lighter than the 1300, but it feels considerably lighter. It feels considerably smaller. Weirdly, the 900's actually got a higher seat than the 1300. Especially in this hard enduro seat that we've got as an accessory on the 900. But the 900 is just so more agile, so more playful, so much more fun in many ways, despite having less power and less torque. It just feels like a big supermoto. It just wants to have fun. It's a dog that wants to chase the stick. It wants to fly down this mountain pass and just be enjoyable. Where the big GS is kind of like the grown-up, bigger, sensible brother. It'll still have fun, and it is more fun than any GS has ever been before, but not as much fun as the F900. And then the flip side, when the fun's over and you've got to rack out 200-300 miles to get back to the hotel, the GS is the ultimate winner in eating out miles. The F900 doesn't have an adjustable screen. The setup is quite firm. The seat is quite hard on this specific seat. There's not a huge amount of wind protection. You're kind of just sitting there and kind of taking it. Where with the big GS, you have an electric screen. We've even got the radar with adaptive cruise control on this specific model. Heated grips, just sit back, relax and enjoy. Look over your shoulder and see your mate on an F900 GS kind of trying to control his head at 140 kilometers an hour. But yeah, a really interesting test that throws up some really interesting questions. And one of the questions the guys actually asked me was, well, if it was your money, which one would you buy? And that's where it starts to get a little bit difficult. Because if I had a house in Monaco and endless money and my wife didn't spend it all, then money was no question, then I'd go for the 1300 GS. Equally, if I had loads and loads of time to do lots of miles and take 2 to 3 week trips around Europe or up to Scotland or across to Wales and really throw in some big miles, there'd be no question, I'd take the GS. But for me, I live in the real world where money's a little bit tight, I've got mortgages to pay, and the chance of me getting away for a week touring is slim and limited. I need a bike that I'm going to use all year, and the most miles I'm going to do is probably 200 or 300 in a day or over a weekend, and that's why the F900 shines a big, big light for me. Although I just don't know if it'll get over the yellow. I think I might have to tick an accessory box for a different colour. But if it was my money, I'd probably maybe go for the 900. Does everything I want from a motorcycle. I don't need all this power and all this torque. I think that's great fun, and I don't have the time or the budget for big miles and big touring. So for me, it would probably be the 900. So thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed the video. If you've got any questions, please fire them below. We've got 2 individual videos on both bikes. We've got launch videos of both bikes when they were launched in Spain. And if you've got any nitty gritty little technical questions like how tall is that guy really, fire them below. We'll get back to you as soon as possible.